if you can see this or not. Let's see, let's try it right there. All right, let's check it out. So today we're gonna do a kind of like a steak tutorial video. Hold on, yeah, like that. Get all set up over here for you. All right, so today we're just gonna do a very simple steak tutorial video. What's the proper way to make a steak, and we will be using the ribeye steak today. So you can pick one of these up at your local grocery store. I got mine for like $7.29. It depends on like what kind you want to get. If you want to go to like a butcher or a specialty meats place, it's going to be around $22 to $29 per pound. So this one was about 0.73 of a pound. So over there, this is going to be about, I would say about 19 to 20 bucks, but I got it at Pick and Save for what, $7? So pretty good deal. But yeah, so the things you're gonna need today, you're gonna need your steak, obviously, whatever steak you you want to use. They're off. You're gonna cook them, most of them the same way, but I would stick to ribeye, New York strip, or like a porterhouse or a T-bone, or even a fillet for this kind of these ingredients. So you're gonna need your steak. You're gonna need salt and pepper, some aromatics. You'll need your thyme, and you're gonna need about a teaspoon of butter. This is about 5 teaspoons, but you're only gonna need a little bit of that. You're gonna need a neutral cooking oil, a high smoke temperature cooking oil. I'm using coconut oil today. And then you'll need a pan. Mine's heating up right now, so it'll be ready. We won't have to wait too long on that. And then you're gonna want a thermometer, a thermometer. And yeah, so let's get right into it. So first we're gonna season our steak. So right here we have our ribeye. So this is known as the most flavorful cut of meat, or cut of beef, that they have coming from the cow. This is a bone-in ribeye. So you can see the big bone right there. It's sometimes called a cowboy ribeye. But the reason why they leave the bone in there is because they think it gives it more flavor. So I don't know whether that's true or not, but it's a pretty good steak all around. So let's season up our steak. We're gonna start with our salt first. And you can put a generous amount of this on there because a lot of it gets cooked off in the pan. So just, be very generous with your salt. It also tastes better. I love salt on my steaks. I also love a lot of pepper too. So next we have our pepper. This is just coarse ground, this is fine ground pepper. You can use coarse if you want. Doesn't really matter. I like a lot of pepper on my steaks, so there we go. So let's flip it, give it a little flip. I'm gonna put some salt on this side too. If you're just joining, feel free, if you like these kind of videos, I make them pretty regularly, so like and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. So we got our salt on there, so now we're gonna go for our pepper. I like a lot of pepper. Thank you. Oh yeah. What? Water. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Oh. Shit. All that pepper just got in my face. All right, so as you can see, you can put a decent amount of seasoning on your steak, and you can still be good. All right, so now we're gonna jump over to the pan. Now we're gonna put our oil in our pan. So I'm using coconut oil. You can use whatever kind you want. I'm going to test my theory today that more oil in the pan equals a better sear. So this is the part where like a lot of people get wrong, and even I get this part wrong from time to time, but you're gonna want a good amount of oil in the pan, so it just kind of like gets on all over your steak. So I'm gonna put maybe like a tablespoon of this coconut oil, and I'm gonna put even a little bit more in there just to ensure that this thing's getting cooked. All right, I'll bring you over here in a second. Let's go like this. Yes, bro. What up, bro? Here we go. So you can see the pan as well. So we're about to get cooking this guy in a second here. See my little light over there? Tried to make everything visible for y'all. Let's put you right there. Okay. Cool. All right. Oh, damn. Plug this in over here. There we go. Okay. So we got our oil in the pan heating up. We're gonna turn this on medium-high because we want it to be really, really hot. I want it to be almost smoking, and it's starting to smoke already. So we got that ready to go. So now we're gonna put our ribeye in. They say to kind of put it in like that and face it away from you, just so none of this hot oil splashes back on you. So you're gonna let this thing rip for a good like 2 minutes. And we're gonna let it create a crust. We're cooking steak, we're making a ribeye right now, an Easter ribeye. Super traditional. Okay, so we're gonna like get this as hot as possible. And we're gonna let it go for 2 minutes each side. We have our thermometer over here to ensure that we're not overcooking this thing. So I like to pull mine around 120 degrees, so it's a nice little rare steak. But you can do yours whatever you want. Personally, I don't like going over medium, but you know, sometimes it happens. And this is probably the hardest part about cooking the steak, is creating the crust on the steak, or on the outside. A lot of people get it wrong. Even I get it wrong every now and then. But practice makes perfect, right? So here we go. So clean up. So we're gonna put our aromatics along with our butter in when we flip it. It is a big steak. It's 0.73 ounces, and it's about, I think this one costs about right around $7. And you're gonna prep your teaspoon of butter, so this is all ready when we're ready to flip. See that smoke? That's a good thing. It means it's hot as hell. So I don't have a spatula clean right now, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna push down on our steak to make sure it's all getting evenly cooked. So when we flip it, we're gonna have an awesome crust. That's the plan. Jane said what she said. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Kate. All right. How was your guys' Easter? Hopefully good. So as you can see, there's a lot of fat on this one. So, sorry, a lot of marbling. That's what they call fat. But it's still the same shit. Same thing. All around here. So you're gonna want to make sure to get that. So like, I'll show you before we flip it. Do a little quick cleaning. All right. Well, you can see, getting a pretty good cook on this. Let's see if it's good. It's pretty good. That's a decent sear. So we're gonna flip this and make sure all that oil's coating the pan, and we're gonna get it back in there. To be fair, that's a pretty solid sear. You can see the fat over here is being cooked, being rendered. It's gonna get real nice, soft and juicy. We got a lot of smoke coming off of this thing because we're cooking it at such a high temperature, but you're gonna want that for this side. So now we're gonna toss our butter in quick, and then we're gonna toss our aromatics. That is our time. Damn. All right, here we go. Put a bunch of it in there. Remember, if you like steak videos, I cook a lot of them. Give me a like and a subscribe if you're here for this. Check that out. Look at that sear. That's beautiful. It could be a little bit more even. You're supposed to put a lot of pressure on. Sorry, to even that sear out. You got to put like more pressure on like the inside. But A lot of people say like put like a cup or something to kind of just get all of it. Am I a chef? No, not at all. I have no desire to be one. They have like one of the hardest jobs in the world. Not about it. Okay. So our aromatics are starting to burn because the oil is so hot. So I'm gonna take this out of there. I don't like that. Again, I'm not perfect with these, but definitely try your hardest. Check our temperature. All right, we're getting a little hot, so I'm gonna take this out. Oh, look at that, perfect. Get that out of here. All right, we're gonna bring it right over here. And then we're gonna let our steak rest. They say the trick to letting they say you should let your steak rest about as long as you cooked it for. All right, so that side is all right. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it is what it is. It's our steak right now. Okay, so here we have our steak. Damn. I'll stay consistent, hey? So hold on, give me 1 second. All right, so there we go. We have our steak. This side is pretty seared, but it's not like super seared like right there. So we missed a few spots, but this side, I think that's a solid sear. You didn't get a whole lot down here, but you got some up here. There we go. But it was getting a little hot, so unless we wanted like a medium or a medium well done steak, we would have left it on there. But this will be good enough. I mean, you got your salt and your pepper. It's seasoned perfectly. I know it because I've been cooking steaks for a while now, and I know that if you don't put a little bit more than normal on here, it's all gonna cook off in the pan, and you're only gonna get, I don't know, you're not gonna get the taste that you originally wanted. So try and put a little bit more salt and pepper on there, knowing that it's gonna come off like 70% in the pan. So now we have our steak. We're not gonna let it rest because I wanna just cut into it and get going. No, we will let it rest. How about that? I'll clean up just a little bit. But yeah, that's our steak. What'd you guys do for Easter? Anything exciting? Salt and pepper is usually the only thing you really need to cook a steak. All right, let's go. All right, so now we're gonna cut this bad boy open and see if we did an all right job. So, I don't believe I cooked it too long. No, we did it. Nice. Hold on, I'll get you a better look in a second. Ooh, that looks good. That looks good. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Shoot. But that's fire. That's a nice rare steak. All right, I'm gonna get you a better view. This is amazing. All right, we're gonna go this way. Okay, so this steak is amazing. Check that out. That's fantastic. That's what you want in a steak. You want the middle rare, but also not like, you see the gray part around here? You don't want that gray and then deep red, because that means you like, I don't know, like you cooked it too fast, I'm pretty sure. But if it's like this, kind of goes from gray to pink to deep red, that's how you want it to be done. That's how you want your steak cooked every time. But yeah, this is a porterhouse, or sorry, not porterhouse. This is a ribeye steak. This is the most flavorful cut of meat that you're ever gonna get. It's a bone-in ribeye, also known as a cowboy ribeye. This is what you're gonna find in restaurants and stuff, and this is really high quality steak. You can go to the butcher, or you can go find a discount over at like your local grocery store. Just search the weekly ads for sales on, I would say, porterhouses, ribeyes, New York strips, and fillets. So, all right. Thank you guys for coming in. I'm going to enjoy the steak. Hope you have a good day. Like and subscribe.